Hey folks, welcome to another day, another unboxing. I've been looking forward to this one. It's the Poco M3. This is a $129 phone right now. Normal price is $149, but it packs quite a punch for this. I mean, compared to like a Moto E or Moto G Fast, this is a significantly better device. So let's get started. This is the box, Poco M3, 6,000 milliamp hour battery. Yep, that's one thing. And it says here, Poco M3 with easy access to the Google apps you use the most. And same thing on this side. There's nothing here, some iMacs back here. So this comes in two variants, a 64 gigabyte and 128 gigabyte. I'm not sure which one they sent me. Nothing in here. By here we've got a little divider. Then we have the phone. There we go. Then we've got another divider and a bunch of stuff. So first we have a charging cord, USB Type-C on this end to Type-A on this end. We've got obviously a USB charger with a Type-A plug on here. Type-A. Here are the numbers. I'll put it up here. And then we've got something else here. I'm not quite sure what this stuff is, but some swag. Poco rubber bands and a little braided lace. It's a band actually. So that's it for the swag. Let's look in this box real quick. So here we go. Got a SIM removal tool and a case with a bunch of manuals. That's exciting. Let's look at that real quick. So first, we've got warranty card. Nobody cares about that. Then we've got Poco M3 user guide. I suppose it's in multiple languages. Yep, because it's pretty thick. So here's some info. Let's go to the next one. Caution. There's really not too much in here. So then we've got a case. Even a screen protector. Wow. Not that I need that, but interesting. So the case is one of your standard TPU cases that a lot of Chinese phones come with. I like these because usually they're pretty decent quality. They get you started until you find something better. Protect your phone, and they don't get too yellow with age, which is nice. They age pretty well. They're not low quality. They have like a little dimple inside so they don't like scratch your phone and stuff. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's look at the phone really, shall we? That's really what's most important here. So as you can see, there's a few interesting specs here. 48 megapixel AI triple camera. Very interesting. Again, at this price point, it's rare to get 48 megapixels. The Moto E7 that just got announced does have it, but you know, 6,000 milliamp hour battery, 6.53 inch 1080p IPS display. That's 60 hertz, but you know, 1080p again is kind of uncommon at this price point. And a Snapdragon 662 from Qualcomm. That's what's in the box. So let me remove this packaging, and I think there's an iMac back here as well. So hopefully I can get rid of that. Let's see here. Yep. Here's the iMac sticker. And ta-da! This is the black one. And as you can quickly immediately see, the thing that is really most kind of obvious about this is this giant camera pod. Well, really, there's two pods here. It's kind of like a pod with the Poco branding and then another pod on top of that with the triple camera system. So that's very interesting. And this feels like leather or faux leather. I mean, it's hard, but it's a soft touch, kind of, and looks like it would wear very well. So that's nice. It's plastic, of course, right, at this price point. But it feels really nice, and you might not need a case with this phone, even though it comes with the TPU case. The nice thing about this is it also comes in this awesome yellow and awesome blue colors, which I think are really, really hot. So that makes me happy because I like colors. But I've got the black one, so let's go with that. Let me turn it on real quick so we can have a look at this display. All right, so I can tell you right now the vibration motor felt pretty cheap there. Poco, Android, but again, 129 bucks. As I talk about this phone, keep that in the back of your mind, okay? So it's not very thick for a phone with 6,000 milliamp hour battery. It's not too bad. Of course, it's running MIUI and the Poco launcher, which is going to be nice because it's a little more streamlined than the launcher that comes with Xiaomi phones. Now, the first thing you'll notice, it's a little, kind of old-fashioned for 2020 at least. It does have a teardrop notch up here. You also have this pretty big chin at the bottom. Again, this is an IPS panel, so Snapdragon 662, 6,000 milliamp hour battery. This comes with 4 gigs of RAM, no matter which model you get, which is pretty good again at this price point. Most phones have 2 or 3 gigs. And it does have either 64 or 128 gigs of storage. All right, let's give you a quick tour around the edges before I talk about cameras. So on the right-hand side, you got a volume rocker and a power lock key that also contains the capacitive fingerprint sensor, right? So unlock it like this. I like how it's got a bit of a apex here on the edge, like kind of sticks out a bit, which means that, it probably offers some drop protection. At the bottom here, you have a speaker, which is part of 2 speakers. This has stereo audio, so I presume it uses the earpiece on top up here for a second channel. And it has a USB Type-C port. Again, you don't see that too often, $129. Starting to become more common, but it's just starting. And as primary microphone. On the left-hand side here, you have the SIM slot, which is also a micro SD slot, so you can expand storage. And on top here, you have actually the second speaker is actually up here, it looks like. And is that an infrared transmitter right at the tip of my finger there? Yeah, I think that's an infrared transmitter. This might be the other speaker, so maybe they're not using the earpiece, or maybe this is part of the earpiece. And then you have a headphone jack and a secondary mic. And I kind of like this flat bezel here. It has at the bottom too, so it's got 2 flat edges. The bottom, I mean, it's a very attractive phone for the money. And that's one of the things that really got me excited about it. The specs are pretty good for the money, and it's a nice design. I really like this kind of massive camera pod. Reminds me of the OnePlus 8T Cyberpunk 2077 edition a little bit. So cameras. In front, you have an 8 megapixel camera, nothing too crazy. f/2.1, 1.12 micron pixels, 1080p video recording. In the back, the main camera is 48 megapixels, f/1.8, and then you have 2 other cameras that are 2 megapixels each. There's a macro camera and a depth sensor. f/2.4 for both of them. Not sure about the pixel sizes, but here's the thing, right? Like, there's no ultra wide. And that, I think, is one thing I wish I'd done. Instead of that macro, an ultra wide would have been great. Keep that third 2 megapixel depth sensor, but man, ultra wide would have just sealed the deal for this phone. Anyway, folks, that's the Poco M3, $129, regular $149. You have to spend just a little more for the 128. But look, this is the future of affordable phones. Like, this is the future of budget phones. And man, if that is the future with design like this and specs like this, I'm kind of stoked. This is pretty damn great. So folks, stay tuned. I'll have more content, more videos on the channel pretty soon. I hope you like this unboxing. I hope you think this phone is cool. Tell me in the comments, is this cool? Would you buy this as a burner phone or as a secondary phone? Or this would be great for kids. Might be even great as a main phone if you really are tight on money. And right now, I know with pandemic, it's pretty hard. So let me know in the comments below. Subscribe, like, tell your friends, click the notification icon as well. And remember, this entire channel is dedicated to giving you some visuals for the podcast, which is an audio show. So if you want my thoughts on this phone, you should listen to the podcast, mobiletechpodcast.com, on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, and Spotify. We're everywhere. Please subscribe, tell your friends, all that good stuff. And that's it, folks. I'll have more videos soon. Until then, cheers, everybody.